for some rum and cola. Wasn't brave enough yet just to talk to you.
Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a one brand tutorial using the Australian brand Zuii Organics. I've teamed up with Lush Body and Soul here in Kalgoorlie, so all of these products I'm using today can be found at Lush Body and Soul. So for those of you that don't know what Zuii Organics is, it is an Australian company that obviously specialise in organic makeup. Now this makeup is cruelty free, not tested on animals. They do have lots of vegan options and they are made with flowers basically. So you are literally wearing flowers on your face. Now this whole range is certified organic. There's no petrochemicals, no parabens, no talc, no GM ingredients, and no nanoparticles. So Zuii Organics is really trying their best to make this as natural and as organic and fresh and healthy as possible. I'm going to start off with the Zuii Floral Foundation Color Correcting Primer. That is a mouthful. But basically this is like a pink based primer, so it's really good for illuminating, hydrating, and just making your skin look nice and glowy. So this does contain moisturizer in it, so I don't have any other moisturizer or anything on my face. It's just my bare face. So I'm applying this basically everywhere. I'm going to coat my eyebrows with it, apply it on the top of my eyelids, and just work it in really well and down my neck as well. So this does kind of have a almost grippy texture to it in a way. It's not like oily or anything like that. It's definitely not sticky, but it feels like it's going to give me a good base for the rest of my look. So now I'm going to go in with their Ultra Foundation. So this is a powder foundation. It is their fullest coverage foundation in their range. Now, I'm definitely not a powder foundation kind of person, but I do love full coverage. So I'm just going to give this a crack and just see how it goes. And yeah, so this is in the shade Honeywood, and this is a vegan foundation as well. So I'm just taking more of a kind of dense foundation brush and just literally patting it into the product, which actually picks up a fair bit. And I'm just gonna start buffing this into my skin. So make sure that you go down your neck because you don't want to look like you're wearing a mask. And if you are wearing your hair up, it is always a good idea to kind of brush lightly over your ears and behind your ears as well. Oh my gosh, this is actually pretty full coverage. So I am pretty much buffing this everywhere, but I'm just leaving my under eye section because we are going to be doing a concealer, and then I will set that concealer with a little bit of this powder. That is looking pretty good, and that was actually a lot faster than my liquid foundation routine. So much quicker. Also gonna lightly dust some over my lid, which will just help be a good base for the eyeshadows. I'm going to move on to my eyebrows, and then we'll come back to the face after I've done the eyes and finish off the face. For my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Eyebrow Definer. This is in the shade Taupe, and it is on an angle as well. So it's gonna help me get just nice kind of clean lines with doing my brows. As always, I'm just gonna go in and just kind of mark where I want my brows to kind of start, just because I don't have much brow, and this will just help me know what I'm doing and just makes things so much easier. So as always, I'm gonna start by doing a little line underneath my brow, and I'm not doing just one continuous stroke, I'm just doing lots of little fine strokes. And then doing a similar thing on the top, and I do raise the top part of the brow up just a little bit more, just because I don't have much of an arch, and this just helps me to be able to create a fake arch. But once it's all filled in, you can't even tell that it's fake. So lightly just kind of dusting this towards the inner portion of my brows. Also in that inner portion, I'm just going to do a few little fine upward strokes, so it looks like I've actually got little hairs growing there when I don't. So what I'm going to do is just lightly touch a little bit with my foundation brush. There's still a tiny bit of foundation on here, but just lightly buff it into that inner portion of the brow. And that way it's just going to soften it out. It's going to stop it looking like super blocky and just make it look a little bit more natural. I'm going to go in with one of their eyeshadow quads. This is in the shade Natural. So I'm going to start off with the lightest shade and just softly wash this over the lid. This is just going to help all the other colors blend so much easier and just make your life a lot easier. I'm all about ease. next I'm going to dip in with this color. So I've just got a softer, fluffier brush, just lightly dipping into that. And just with my eyes open, basically I'm going to apply this into that crease. So with my eyes open, that way I can tell that I'm going to be able to see this color and it's not going to get lost. Next I'm going to go in with the next darkest color. So I'm working from lightest to darkest. It is always the easiest way, and if you make a mistake it's not going to be that hard to fix compared to if you go straight in with the dark colors. I'm going to start building up a little bit of depth in that outer corner. So basically what I'm going to do is just start bringing it in and dusting it through to the crease as well. So now I'm going to dip in with the darkest shade and mainly focus this in the outer portion, in the kind of real crease area, just to add a lot more depth. Whoa! Oh my gosh, that color is so pigmented. Wow, I'm just going to tap off the excess. Oh my gosh, so pigmented. So I'm basically doing a little bit of a C shape, back in with that big fluffier brush, and this is what we're going to use to help smooth it out. So as you guys can see, I'm just doing like windscreen wiper motions, and by starting off with the lightest colors, building to the darker color, it makes blending so much easier. You're not going to end up with real harsh lines, and you're not going to spend like hours trying to blend it out. It just seems to work so much more seamlessly. Go back with that big first brush we've used and just really soften everything out, especially in that outer corner. If you've made a bit of a mess, it's completely fine. Now I have a flat brush. I'm going to go in with these two shades again and just brighten up my lid color. So in with that greeny color first. Just going to pat that on. It's going to make your eyes look a lot bigger as well. And then in with that lightest color right in that inner corner of my eye and in near the tear duct as well. I'm also going to dust this just under the brow bone, and it's just going to give me a little bit of a highlight on the brow bone. It's like an instant brow lift. So now it's time for eyeliner. I'm going to go in with one of their pencil liners. So this is their eye pencil in black. So what I'm going to do is just really lightly in that outer portion of my eye, just dust this along the top lid. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. Even if it is messy, it's not going to matter because we're going to blend it and kind of work it into the shadows. So the only bit of liner that's going to be on your lid is in this outer portion. The rest, I'm going to tightline my eyes. So basically what that means is the upper waterline is going to have black on it. It's just going to make my lashes look a lot thicker and fuller and just really smoke this area out. So it can be easier to do it with your eyes closed if you're worried of poking yourself in the eye. So basically what I'm doing is just working that in between my eyelashes. I'm also going to line my lower waterline. This is completely optional as well. If you do have small eyes, this can make your eyes look a little bit smaller, but at the same time it's going to make them look a lot more striking as well. So what I'm going to do is just quickly dip back into that darkest powder just with a small brush, and I'm just going to kind of pat that over where we did the liner. This is going to help to set the liner and make it last so much longer. Next product I'm going to use is concealer. Oh my gosh. So this is the concealer pencil in the shade Natural. So basically under my eyes, because that's where my most troubled area is, I'm going to apply this. And just any other blemishes around my face, I'm just going to apply that. So what I'm going to do is just with my finger, blend that out because that's going to help to warm up the product and help it kind of melt into the skin at the same time as blending. So I've got my daughter joining with me for some of this now. Mum life. Everyone, this is Hazel. She's just woken up and she's grumpy. What I'm going to do is just with that foundation brush that we used, I haven't dipped into any more foundation, there's still just a little bit left over. I'm just going to lightly pat that over the concealer. So this is going to help it set without going super cakey or anything like that. The next step for me is to do a little bit of contouring just to give me some cheekbones because I don't really have any. So I'm gonna go in with another one of their foundations. So this is one of the darker shades. This is the shade Pecan. I do have a bigger, fluffier brush. I'm just gonna lightly tap into that at first and just kind of bring a little bit of warmth to my face. So very similar to how you do eyeshadow, I'm not going to go straight in with a real harsh line because that's going to be a pain to blend out. I'm just really lightly buffing in some color first, and then we'll go back in and define it a bit more. So now I've dipped back in, still using the same brush, but as you guys can see, I've kind of squeezed it. So I'm just going to carve out that area. Just wipe away that fairy floss I had at the fair. So just going back in with a fluffier brush, and we're going to just lightly contour my nose with it as well. Down the side, almost starting from my eyebrow and buffing it all the way down. Next I'm going in with blush. So this is actually a cheek and lip color. This is their cheek and lip cream, and this is in the shade Dion. So I'm just warming up a tiny bit of that in my fingers and patting this onto my cheeks. Don't worry, I know it probably looks like a hot mess at the moment, but that's okay. Just gonna go back in and just buff that out. I love cheek creams because it's almost like they melt into your skin and it just looks so natural and gorgeous. Beautiful, I love it, love it. Next, moving on to the lips, I'm firstly going to line my lips with the lip liner pencil. This is in the shade Sienna, and I like to just slightly overline my lips. Not drastically, and I only ever overline in the center part of my lips, not the outer portions. Just going to fill it all in. I love this color, oh my gosh. And moving on to lipstick, I'm just going to use their floral lipstick in the shade Nude. And because I've been loving glossy lips at the moment, I am going to use a little bit of gloss as well. So this is their lip tint in the shade Seashell. Oh my gosh, that is a mouthful. Going back to the eyes, I am basically going to mimic the same shadows along the lower lash line that we did on the lid. So starting with that darkest color this time, just in that outer portion, this is going to help set that eyeliner. And then moving on with the kind of greeny color in the center. And lastly, the lightest color in that inner portion. So this is the Zuii Organic Mascara. This is in the shade Granite, and it is the Maxi Lash Mascara. So I'm not going to use the wand that they have here, just for kind of hygiene purposes. So I am going to be using my own spoolie. Ooh. This is nice. It doesn't actually clump at all. And I'm also going to do this on the lower lashes as well. Oh my gosh. I love this. Always when I do mascara on my lower lashes, they clump, but this is actually really nice. Final touch is a little bit of highlighter. So I have this one here. This is their Floral Diamond Sparkle Blush. So it is considered a blush, but it's quite a light color, and this is in the shade Mango. Oh wow, it's so pretty. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is freaking gorgeous. Okay, I'm sold. That is gorgeous. I was not expecting it to be that pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So pretty. These are obviously the main areas that I like to highlight. Just gonna zoom it out. Any excess, I'm just gonna do a little bit in here, tiny bit on my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. All right, so here you have the finished look. I am absolutely in love. That foundation, as I said, I'm not really a powder foundation person, but that foundation, oh my gosh, and that highlight, oh my gosh, I'm sold. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and thank you for Lush Body and Soul for kind of collaborating with me on this. So all of these products you can find here in Kalgoorlie at Lush Body and Soul. All of the ladies there are absolutely gorgeous and lovely, and they'd be more than happy to help you guys out with any makeup related questions and stuff like that. I am very, very impressed with this. I think I look stunning, and gorgeous, and ooh, I love it. I love it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you like this video and have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Bye.